Hi, Aries. Welcome to Pandora Astrology's monthly horoscope for October of 2022. We are the astrologers of Pandora Astrology. I'm Jamie Kale Miller. I'm in Berkeley, California.
I'm Julia Mijas in Mystic, Connecticut.
Hey, Aries. This month's horoscope has a lot of relationship themes, and they come up both at work and also in your private life. If this horoscope brings up questions for you, a lifelong love reading would probably have the answers. You'll find a link to get that in the text that comes with this video. Well, October begins with moon activity and Mercury activity, and then it finishes with wonderful relationship themes. But let's start with the moon, which is a full moon. It happens on October 9th. And it lands right here in your first house, Aries. So you might feel this one personally. Chiron's been traveling along through your sign already for 3 or 4 years, and it's not done yet. It's going to be there for a while. Chiron has been making you a little bit touchy, and this moon is just going to plug right into that. So this could be the kind of moon where you're feeling argumentative, you're spoiling for a fight, and you've got something on your mind and you just want out with it. Fortunately, Venus is over here in your 7th house with the sun to balance this moon, to bring in a diplomatic feel. And there's also help from Saturn, which is bringing in a note of objectivity and also perhaps some helpful structure. This moon, we're calling it arguments that wound, dialogue that heals. And really, it's your choice as to whether this moon ends up being spent in argument or dialogue. So there's a thought. Julia, what's up with Mercury, Mars, and Venus for the Aries of the world this month?
Well, hey there, Aries. I've got some great news because Mercury is finally going direct very early in the month on October 2nd, and it did a whole retrograde cycle in your 6th house. Last few weeks may have brought up lots of miscommunications with the people that you work with or clients and customers. Also, the 6th house represents your organizational resources in your life, and those may have gone haywire. So it's very nice to see this moving along straight ahead this month, and by October 10th, Mercury goes into your 7th house of partnership, where you'll be doing your best thinking if you have somebody else, any type of partner, could be a romantic partner, business partner, platonic best friend, to bounce your ideas off of. Also a great time to hire contractors to help, speak things out, to help give you advice in some way. Then by October 29th, Mercury goes into your 8th house of other people's money, where your mind will be a lot more probing, wanting to sort of research and get down to the bottom of things in your life. Now, Mars, the planet of action and activity, is going to go retrograde really late in the month, but all month he's slowing down until October 30th, when he finally goes retrograde. And this is going to happen in your 3rd house of siblings, neighbors, local community, writing, and also it's a house of short journeys. So when Mars goes retrograde, we might have to be redoing some of our actions. And in the 3rd house, that might include any short trips that you plan on going on. It can also be a time of some frustrations and conflicts with your siblings, or maybe frustrations coming from your neighborhood too. Now, this Mars retrograde cycle is going to go on for a long time in your 3rd house for a number of months, so definitely stay tuned to what we have to say about it, because we're in it for the long haul, and Mars is your ruling planet. Now, Venus starts the month in your 7th house of relationship, and this is a lovely time for Venus to be in the 7th because she brings pleasure and harmony to your romantic relationship. If you are single, it's a really, really great time to meet somebody new as well. And then on October 22nd, Venus will be exactly conjoined the Sun in your 7th house, which we call Relationship Rapture Day, and that means you can start moving ahead in your relationship. So in the 7th house, in the house of relationship, you guys might might find a way to harmonize better together, to relate better together, to kind of really strengthen those bonds of partnership that really help you guys move forward. And then on October 23rd, Venus goes into your 8th house of other people's money. This can be a good time for getting a little extra bling. That could be maybe from a loan coming through, maybe being able to refinance your mortgage, because this is the house of other people's money, which isn't the money you earn, but the money you either share with people close to you, like family, or with institutions like banks. It could also mean that your partner gets a pay increase and is very generous with you too. And I know we have more relationship news coming up too. Jamie's got a few things to say as well.
I do. Starting with the change of seasons. The sun starts out the month in Libra, bringing a relationship vibe to begin with, and then moves into Scorpio right here alongside Venus on October 23rd, bringing the spotlight of attention into your 8th house of intimacy and sharing. So when the sun comes into the 8th house, it's a really good time to pay attention to and to bring the light of consciousness into some of the more hidden corners of your life in general, but in relationship in particular. Take a look into your debt situation, see if you can shine some light on that. Look at your marital finances and any finances that you share with a business partner. Now, there's some wonderful things that are going on here too at the end of the month. Juno is going direct. Juno has been retrograde, and Juno is the asteroid goddess of marriage and commitment, which also encompasses business partnerships, which feel an awful lot like marriage. So Juno has been retrograde in Pisces in your 12th house. And the theme here is very strong and related to spirituality and communion. You might be asking yourself, in my committed relationship, how spiritually aligned do I feel? Do I feel like this person is a soulmate? Do I feel like they share spiritual values with me? You may be asking yourself that over the last couple of months while Juno has been retrograde, and you may have been in a state of sort of retreat and solitude, figuring this out on your own. Then when Juno goes direct right here, October 23rd, that signals a close to this relationship retrospection period. It's been going on since late July. And so there is some relief as Juno begins to move forward and we begin to make the decisions that we need to make about our relationship going forward. And this Juno has a really lovely trine over here to that Venus Sun conjunction that Julia was talking about, relationship rapture day. And then piling onto that, we have the moon, October's second moon, which is a new moon in Scorpio right here, also landing in your very intimate 8th house with Venus and the sun. Now, this moon is an eclipse, and we know this because the south node is right here next to the moon. And eclipses are times when we are forced to look at our shadow. And so if you're not afraid to look at the stuff that is generally hidden from sight or that you don't like to look at usually, but if you're not afraid to go there, you can get a ton out of this moon. This moon we're calling confessions, acceptance, and healing, because this is a much better moon than the first moon this month, that full moon that I warned you about on October 9th. This moon is way better for reestablishing new intimate bonds with a partner that you already have, or moving forward into a relationship that may just be being born now. And that's because of the way that Juno, newly direct, trines this Moon, Sun, Venus combination very close to relationship rapture day. And this moon contains a ton of harmony because Juno is trining 3 things right here. So this moon is absolutely the time, if you've been, if you've been rustling around in your own unconscious, and uncovering things that you've then been withholding from your partner while you feel through them or think into them, this moon could really be the time to come to your partner and tell them what's been on your mind and find out what's been on their mind. And if there's anything that anybody has been withholding recently or over the years, this could be a really good time for some clearing conversations, some healing conversations. But it's really important that you come to these conversations with compassion and an open heart, and then miracles can happen. Well, that's what we have for you today, Aries. You can always find your horoscope on our website, pandoraastrology.com, in the horoscope tab. And if you want a reading out of this horoscope, check out the readings tab where you can get into the schedule with me or Julia. And if you're interested to know more about these moons or Juno retrograde, then check out the monthly forecast page where you can find out a lot more about the news of the month. And until next time, we'll see you around the cosmos. Bye.
Bye-bye.